Lesson 1.7, multiplying and dividing integers. So when you're multiplying integers, there's like three things you have to be worried about. The product of two integers with the same sign is positive. So product of two integers with same sign is positive. Positive. This is number one. Number two. Product of two integers with different signs is negative. Product of two integers with different signs is negative. And product of any integer with 0, product of any integer with 0 is 0. So this brings us to example 1. Example 1. If we have negative 3 times negative 12, this is number 1, the product of two integers with the same sign. So negative 3 times negative 12 is 36. It's not negative 36, it's positive 36, because it's the product of two integers with the same sign is always positive. So this would be 36. If we have, this is A, if we had negative 7 times 9, pick a number 2, product of two integers with different signs is negative. So negative 7 times positive 9 would be negative 63. If we had negative 24 times 0, the product of any integer, so negative 24 can be positive, negative, negative 24, anything, times 0 is 0. So what's 24 0 times 0? What's negative 70? 0 times 0. Anything 0 times is 0. Negative 1 million, 0 times is 0. So that's example 1. Example 2 is it's multiplying integers. So to find the total change in the value of the shares of stock described on another page, we have to first multiply the number of shares of each type of stock by the change in price of each share. So what we would do is conclusion, let's say we had, let's put this on example 2. If we had 200 computer shares and they went down each of them went, the total change in one share was negative 3. So look, this is the equation we get. Total change. Total change equals computer shares, the amount of computer shares, times change in one share, change in one share, plus the amount of utility shares, times the change in one share. So the total change of all the shares. So this would equal to, if you had 200 computer shares and the change in one share was negative 3, and you had 150 utility shares and the change in one utility share was 2. PEMDAS. So we do 200 times negative 3, it's negative 600 plus 300. And 200 times negative 3, this is, you're multiplying two integers with different signs, so this is going to be negative. And 150 times 2, you're multiplying two integers with the same sign, so it's going to be positive. Negative 600 plus 300. You're going to start at negative 600. You're going to go 300 in the positive direction. You're going to wind up with negative 300. So it's all of example 2. I wasn't familiar with the scenario which is described in another page, but it's just finding the total change in all the shares, because you have computer shares and utility shares. But just focus on this. When you have 200 times negative 3, different signs, ends up negative. 150 times 2, same sign, ends up positive. And then you do PEMDAS to solve and you find negative 300. Now we get to dividing integers. Dividing integers. Dividing integers. Here you also have 3 things you have to worry about. Quotient of two integers with the same sign is positive. So quotient of two integers with same sign, positive, and then quotient of two integers with different signs, this is going to be negative. And quotient of 0 and any integer, any non-zero integer will be 0. Because if you divide 0 by 100, what's 0 in between 100? If you have 0 cookies and you have to divide them among 0 friends, how many cookies does each friend get? 0. It's 0. Okay, so this brings us to example 3. This brings us, if we divide the page between dividing and multiplying integers, this would be it. So everything here on is dividing integers. If we have example 3. Example 3, it's giving us a negative 48 divided by negative 6. So look at number 1, quotient of two integers with the same sign. Negative 48 and negative 6 are the same sign. This would be 8, positive 8. If you have 56 divided by negative 8, you're dividing quotient of two integers with different signs, so it would be negative. So 56 divided by negative 8 would be negative 7. Now C, 0 divided by 9. Look at number 3, quotient of 0 and any non-zero integer. So this is basically what I was saying about the cookies. If you have 0 cookies to divide amongst 9 friends, each friend is going to get 0 cookies. So this is going to be 0. This is all example 3. Example 4 is finding the mean temperature of each month. So and it gives us a table of the lowest temperatures in Antarctica. So, example 4. Example 4 is giving us the record low monthly temperatures from June to November at the McMurdo Station in Antarctica. Find the mean of the temperature. So if we have, these are the temperatures, the record low, negative 42, negative 59, negative 57, negative 47, negative 40, and negative 19. These are the mean low, the absolute lowest of those months, ranging from June to November. So if we want to find the mean of them, we have to add to find mean, which is basically average, divide, you have to add all, and divide by number of terms. So if we have negative 42 plus negative 59 plus negative 57 plus negative 47 plus negative 40 plus negative 19, we would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. So you divide this by 6. And then this would basically equal negative 264 after adding all these integers. Negative 264 divided by 6. And look at number 2. If the quotient of two integers with different signs, negative 264 and positive 6, is negative. So negative 264 divided by 6 would be negative 44. Which would be the average of all the lowest temperatures between these months. This would be all of example 4.